That's why we're going to win Minnesota. Hasn't been won since 1972 by a Republican. We're going to win Minnesota. Of course, having people like Omar doesn't hurt either. Omar, Ilhan Omar, she doesn't love our country too much. I don't think so. They crave power, and God help us if they ever did get it. God help us. I can tell you that. You just have to look all over the world at different places. God help us. This election day, the people of Michigan must stop these anti-American radicals by issuing Joe Biden and his group a thundering defeat at the ballot box. And by the way, it seems to be happening. Seems to be happening. I don't want to speak too early, but you know, there's a big story out right now. Do you know that? Do you know about it, right? You know, we're supposed to be way behind until Election Day when all the Republicans go and you're going to have a red wave like you've never seen before. And even the fake news media is saying that we're going to have a wave. We're going to have a wave like you've never seen before, but we're supposed to be way behind, you know, for the first few days. So it just came out. We're leading. What's that? Early voting. But let's not talk about it. It doesn't mean, you know what they call that? An early maybe signal, right? Maybe. Who knows? But there's a lot of concern going on out there. This sounds like a little bit like 4 years ago, but this should be much bigger because we've done everything we said and more. You know, we've done it all. We brought in your case, we brought your plants back. You remember 12 years ago or so, I got Man of the Year in Michigan. I said, well, that's nice. I came to Michigan, and I made this speech like, why are you allowing them to take your automobile business, your car-making business? Why are you allowing them to take it to Mexico and Canada and every place else? Why are you allowing? I made this big deal. I actually got blasted for it. You know, they named me Man of the Year, and I'm complaining, right? But no, I hated what, it's probably why I'm here. It's probably the number one. I mean, what you're doing in Michigan has been amazing. Now, you got to get your governor to open up your state, okay? And get your schools open. Get your schools open. The schools have to be open, right? Lock them all up. Ohio, a high school football player was suspended for displaying a flag honoring our great police. You saw that? When the New York Times published a piece by Senator Tom Cotton, by the way, great senator from Arkansas, right? Great, great guy and great senator. The editor of the New York Times had to resign because they put Tom Cotton's brilliant, he's a brilliant person, brilliant student, brilliant everything. They put his piece in the New York Times, and the person that put it in had to resign. Now, can you believe this? When the Philadelphia Inquirer published a piece saying that rioters shouldn't destroy buildings, that was the end of that journalist. I mean, can you believe it? These are not the tactics of a respectable political movement. This is the behavior of fascists, and as bad as you can get. The point of cancel culture is not to convince you, it's to humiliate you and break you and control you. But the American people will never submit, we will never apologize, and we will not be controlled and never be broken. No, nobody's seen anything like what's going on. Now, in other countries, you have seen it. And those countries have, in every single case, ended up very badly. It's never going to happen to this country. And this country will never be a socialist country, just remember. Ever. But I made a speech at a magnificent place called Mount Rushmore, right? Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. And I made this speech, and I think it was a very good speech, and it was well received and all of that. It was so beautiful. The whole place, you have to see this. It was so beautiful. And the governor is fantastic. You know Christie, right? Fantastic. And the people are fantastic, and they're so proud of it. And then I read where they want to blow up Mount Rushmore. before I got there. I mean, they want to blow it up. We want to blow the face off Mount Rushmore. I don't think that's happening. I think the people of South Dakota might not handle that too well. So it's not happening. But think of it. Where does this thinking come from? Where does this sickness come from? And we have to... Okay. If you're Italian, do you happen to like Christopher Columbus? Christopher Columbus. No, think of it. You're Italian. They want to blow up. You know, we had it, I think it was in New York. So they were going to rip down this gorgeous, right, New York, right? And the Italians circled it. They saw. That was the end of those people. They just sort of went away. You know, they're sitting there and standing there. And they had various things that they were holding. I won't get into that because they'll say, that's terrible. He's inciting violence, the president. No, but the Italians, a group of Italians that lived in the neighborhood, surrounded this particular statue. And after about 5 minutes of talk back and forth, the radical anarchists and the Antifa people that nobody ever liked to talk about, they don't like to say Antifa. You know, they don't like to say Antifa. They like to blame everything on the right. This is the left. They like to blame everything on the right. But the Antifa people, okay, so they wanted to do it. But when they saw this group of people, they said, you know what? Let's take a pass. Let's go someplace else and rip down a statue. And did you see the other night with George Stephanopoulos? It was like, you know, they call them softballs. And then I had to go on with that person, you know, that person. No, she was jumping out of her seat. She was jumping out of her seat. Thank you very much, Johnny. Everybody know Johnny? He's very conservative. He's a big star, and I hate to say this, it's very incorrect. You don't say it anymore, but the women really like him a lot. Thank you. Normally, when I have a hat, I like to take the tie off the back with it, right? This side. All right, Daddy. Okay, thank you. Thank you all. So, last week, Biden, he attacked Christopher Columbus by refusing to recognize Columbus Day. And he wants to change the name of Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. Who likes that idea? Who likes it? What the heck are you saying? That's politically incorrect. See, what they don't understand is they're politically incorrect. So he wants to change it to Indigenous Peoples Day. Not as long as I'm president, let me just tell you that, okay? But this is what, you know what, that's just a point, but this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. The radical left is eradicating our history, and weak Joe Biden will let them do it. San Francisco just announced plans for a fascist purge of the names of local schools, erasing the names of Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and Thomas Jefferson from all schools. What are we going to do about this, right? Local. That's Nancy Pelosi area, you know, that's Nancy. I always say, Nancy, go home and take care of the homeless in San Francisco. I've never seen, you know. So she does. She goes home and takes care of her home, which is a very beautiful home. They even want to erase the names of Democrat senators and Republican senators, current and past. You know, they want to erase the name of Clinton. Yeah, hey, that'll be next. You know, they want to erase the name of Clinton. Yeah, hey, that'll be next. That's a good. Crooked Hillary will take her name. Does she have her name on it? I don't know if she's got her name on anything, right? I don't know. If she does, I'm all for it. Take it down. Crooked Hillary. Are we having a good time? Is there ever a better place to be than a Trump rally, you know? And generally, we don't call it a rally because, you know, you're not allowed to have rallies because you can't meet more than 2 people. Minneapolis burned down their stores. You could beat the hell out of people. You could do whatever you want. So I said, I have an idea. Let's call all our rallies, which we do, peaceful protests. And now we have no legal problem. Because if we call this a rally, we'd have a problem. So we call it a peaceful protest. So officially, if anyone asks you, like the fake news when you're walking out, just say, no, this was a peaceful protest. Thank you very much. If you're a moderate Democrat or liberal who knows that your party has gone totally off the rails, you have a moral duty to immediately stop this lunacy. You must, by law, join the Republican Party. We welcome you to the Republican Party and the party of Abraham Lincoln. You know, I say that. A lot of people don't know that. That's the party of Trump. Yeah. Well, we've done a lot. I'll tell you, we've expanded this party. You see all the, in Michigan and all these places? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, you really drive them crazy if you say 12 more years. 12. Then they say, he is a fascist. He is a fascist. What a group. Oh, that's right. She's doing it for everybody is locked down, except my husband. He could go sailing anytime he wants. A guy like Biden and the Democrats want to keep Michigan locked up, locked down, and closed for business. No, it's so badly hurting your state. And then I guess they said she was threatened, right? She was threatened. And she blamed me. She blamed me. And our people were the ones that worked with her people. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But I'll have to tell you something. Our FBI has to start looking at Antifa, and they have to start looking at some people that they're not looking at like they should be. Biden will shut down the country, delay the vaccine, and prolong the pandemic. And it's time. But, you know, we won another great case in Michigan, right? It was ruled unconstitutional what she was doing to you. Right? Maniacs, your babies. No, but it's true. But she's saying, thank you very much. It's great. We have everything we need. You gave us 400 trillion goggles. You gave us this. You gave us that. You gave us more anything. We built hospitals, right? We built hospitals. We did everything. We did things nobody could do. The Army Corps of Engineers and FEMA, the job they've done is incredible. And she and others, or, you know, everybody, they're all very happy. They were all, every single one. Even the real haters, they were happy. And they would say happy. But in her case, and in some others, they would then go on. And some were legit. Some were Democrat. Some were against Trump. But they go out, they say, did a good job. But she would go out and say, great, very happy. I said, is there anything else you want, Governor? No, we have everything. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it on behalf of Michigan. Very good. And then she'd go out and badmouth me. I mean, it's incredible. It's so dishonest, right? It's so dishonest. But anyway, hopefully you'll be sending her packing pretty soon. By the way, and be careful of her and her attorney general because, you know, they're like in charge of the ballot stuff, right? So I'm not feeling too great, and I'm looking up and I'm seeing doctors there. I just get, please leave me alone. And each one wanted to touch a different part of my body. And I didn't like that. I said, get the hell out of here, doctors. But we had a topless. They came in, these soldiers with the most expensive helmets in the history of mankind. You approved them. They had more computers, they have everything. They can look at somebody and the somebody is gone. But they came in, boom, boom, boom. You saw 1, 2, 3 black outfit. Then all of a sudden you had a second row and a third row and a fourth. And they had their tear gas and they had their pepper spray, which the other side doesn't want to use because it's not nice. You know, they can throw cans at you and they can throw rocks and stones and hurt your police, but you're not allowed to guard yourself with tear gas, pepper spray, which 100% are effective. So they just marched forward, and the whole thing was over. It was like, it was over, right? I don't know. There's something about that when you watch everybody getting pushed around. There's something very beautiful about it. I don't care what anyone says. Not politically correct. I'll be on. They'll say, he thinks that was beautiful. But you people get it. You get it probably better than I do even, right? When you get right down. But what they're doing will not only undermine your security, but it will overcrowd your hospitals and divert needed resources for low-income communities that we're all for. We want to help people. We want to help our citizens. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, and we will end surprise medical billing. That surprise medical billing is a bad deal, and it's now ending. Require price transparency, all signed up, goes into effect January 1st. Can you imagine if this sleepy guy gets in, and it's January 1st, and everybody says, this price transparency, I'll tell you what, it's bigger than healthcare. Wait till you see. It's bigger than healthcare. You talk about pricing, bigger. And can you imagine? And he'll get credit for it. They'll say, Biden did a phenomenal job on price. People have been trying to get this thing for 25 years. I got it done January. I said to my people, couldn't you do it like from 6-7 months ago? But they had statutory limits. You had to wait here, there, there. So on January 1st, I better damn well be president, I'll tell you. Well, I will be. I will be. Yeah, I will be. For 20 days. Don't do this to me. Don't do that. You can't do that. No, no. So January 1st, it goes into effect. We go out to January 20th. But you know what? I honestly believe, I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. I think we're going to have price transparency. We'll be here for 4 years. And then if we decide to go for an extra 4 or 8 or something. We'll be here for 4 years. And then if we decide to go for an extra 4 or 8 or something. Well, I think 12 is going to be now the gold standard. That'll be the new chant. And the other